Hey everybody, Mark from Northeast Bass Fishing. How you guys doing? Well, I finally got some clips from some recent fishing trips all edited together here. And this is not from this past week, this is from the week before, I believe, if I remember correctly. And a lot of times when I went out, the best fish of the day was the first fish. It's been very hot. Fishing's been a little slow. Catching fish, but not a lot of big fish. So I went out, try a new lake. This was my best fish of the day, 3-ish pound fish on a chatterbait, and that was right when I first started. And he was not happy that I caught him, but that was probably my best fish of the day. I mean, it definitely was my best fish of the day. And on this lake, as I said, new lake to me, totally checking it out for the first time. Beautiful looking lake, lots of weed, lots of rock, and I think pretty much everything I caught was on a chatterbait. You can see these guys are a little smaller. Maybe pound and a halfers, 2 pounds maybe on a good day, but more like pound and a half fish. Hot day, but this was before the real heat wave really hit. It was warm, but it wasn't unbearable like it's been a few of the days I've been out. And I believe this is another chatterbait fish. Since I haven't fished since this was 2 weeks ago, I'm not remembering all these bites. Yeah, okay, yep, another chatterbait fish. I'm just throwing the jackhammer. I think that's a green pumpkin jackhammer with a chartreuse trailer. Give you a little better view of the fish right there. Decent one. But it was kind of just plucking along, fish here, fish there. At this point, the nights were actually kind of cool, and I think that might have hurt the frog bite. And as I said, this is before the heat wave really came up here in the Northeast. New England, it's been, a lot of 90-degree days and high 80s, and it's been really rough. See that little guy right there? I don't even think he's a pound and a half. But another one of the chatterbait. That's an island there to the right. I'm just kind of going around the island. And just kind of exploring the lake for the first time. Never been there before. And I think this is probably, maybe I'm around that other side of that island. No, this is just a hump that's out in the middle. There's just a hump that's out in the middle. You can see the weeds there and the marker buoys. I was just working around the hump with the chatterbait and caught one. But that was it. That was really worth showing you guys. I did have some hits on the hybrid hunter, but they kind of got off right next to the boat. So that was the last one there for that day. Here is another day where it was brutally hot. Brutally hot. By the end of the day, I was dying. And this right here is my first fish of the day. This day, they didn't want to chase anything. It was a flipping bite, 100%. And I'm just throwing that culprit water beetle, that old beaver-style bait that you guys know I love. And I kind of give you a lousy view of this fish because I forgot to show him to the camera. But this was probably my best fish of the day. This 2.5-er. If he had a full gut, he might have been 3 pounds. But then I was just kind of working around the lake, small weedy lake, and just working around these lily pad patches and throwing that water beetle in there and catching a fish here and there. And they were all kind of like that size, a pound and a half size, other than that first one. It was amazing how the frog bite was just not there. Fish are jumping out of the water all day, eating bugs, eating insects, and I could not get. I don't even know if I even really got any really good blow-ups. But it was a really hot, high sun, no wind day, and I think that really made it tough. So I had to get into the shady cover there as best I could in those pad patches and just chuck the creature bait in there and get a few bites. But it was tough getting. There was a few hours there where it was like nothing going on. And as I said, it got even hotter. It got real hot. The fact that there was no wind made it very unpleasant out there by around 1 o'clock. And so I just kept going around, flipping any place there was like these patches of lilies, throwing that creature bait in there. And as I said, I threw the hybrid hunter a lot. I threw a swim bait. I threw a chatterbait and a spinner bait when the wind did blow just a little, just to see. Nothing. They were not chasing. They were hunkered down in those weeds, and they were not interested in much effort. Now, when they would hit it in the weeds, they hit it well. But You literally had to throw it right in front of their face. And that's that, and like I said, that's that culprit water beetle, a discontinued creature bait that I really like. You guys have seen me do many videos on it. I wish culprit still made it, because it's a great bait. But that's it. That was that second day, and this is the other day coming up here. I just kind of, you guys have seen this. This short is on my channel. You can check it out. I just kind of figured I'd throw it in there, and I didn't have the camera going, and I was throwing that horny toad. It's funny because we talked about here on the channel about soft plastic frogs, so I said, what the heck, I'll try the horny toad. And like 5 minutes in, it was right before it started to rain, so I didn't have the camera set up yet, and I caught that decent largie on the that's the Zoom horny toad, just with the EWG hook on it. And then it really got hot. It really got hot. This was my second fish of the day. I went for a while there with no bites or just little tiny fish. And this was a decent largie, just flipping that big tree that's in the water. I was like, I don't know if I said it earlier, but I'm fishing the river. I decided to go check the river out. Hadn't been there in a while. And by the afternoon, I was dying. It was so hot. That was a decent largie on the jig. I believe that's that queen tackle jig, that black and blue one. And that was with a Power Team Lures Crow hors d'oeuvre trailer. Just flipping it around the trees there. Here I'm just throwing a net around a bridge piling. And I catch this little smallie. He might have been a 12-incher, I don't know. But you could tell he's not very big. I was just glad to get a bite. And it was nice to sit under this bridge for a while, because it was, at this point of the day, it was a scorcher. It was a scorcher. Now, if I could get to pick the fish up, he was not happy. He had a lot of spunk for a little guy. But you can see those bridge pilings there. I was just flipping the Ned rig around there, and I finally caught one on a bridge piling. That day I had fished bridge pilings before, and all I did was get hung up and lose my Ned head. And so I came out from that area, just working up the shoreline, and threw by this laydown with the Ned, and I caught this little largie here. So it was nice to get a few bites, because it had gone a little bit there with nothing going on, other than, throwing the fluke and throwing the net and catch, having like 8-inch and 6-inch smallies come after it. But a little largie, maybe a keeper. Might have been over 12 inches. But as you can see, nothing really big. Nothing really big. And so then I kind of took a ride up and was heading back in. It looked like we might get some storms, and I started throwing that horny toad again. And I catch a nice one here. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see it and notice it on the camera, but when I'm taking them off the bait, or the bait out of the fish, the tip of my rod broke off. I didn't even know it until afterwards. I was wondering where my bait was gone, and when the tip broke, and I think he broke it right there. And I didn't know it at the time. And I think my line broke, because I just went and took the hook out and threw it back, and that was it. So there's the clip, guys. I will see you soon on YouTube. Mark out.